Hello, everyone. Again, I'm Justin Pate from the Rap Institute, and I'm joined by
Dimas Brasil.
And we're very honored to be here at the show this year. And what we're doing is we're doing a wide range of demos on different topics. We're going to be doing dry apply PPF, wet apply PPF, color change with PVC, and in this one, we're doing digital print. So one thing that's interesting, Dimas, as the industry has changed over the years, back in the day, you used to just do commercial, you used to just do color change, or you used to just do PPF. You never kind of mixed. But now if you go to Wrap Shop, installers like yourself, you can do all three.
Hell yeah.
Yeah.
I like to deliver commercial jobs with the same quality as color change jobs. And that's a very good differential from your competitors.
Absolutely. So you also can mix the mediums, but also sometimes you have to make sure that you don't kind of mix them too much in the sense that like right now there's color change. Now later today we're going to wrap this car. Our first demo today was how to section the material for color change. So what Dimas and I are doing was we had one piece for the fender, one piece for the door, one piece for the back door, and one piece for the back fender. We're going to wrap each one separately.
Right.
Which is really smart, because in this case now, we kept the mirror on the body, right? So in that case now, Dimas, what did you make earlier?
I did a template.
You did a template. So in this case right now, we left the mirror on the body, right?
I can put
and
here.
If you're just wrapping the door, Dimas created a template. Can you guys see this right here? So that enables you to cut it out ahead of time, place the door panel in position, and then you could wrap around this mirror in seconds, which is really cool. So good tips and the tricks for that. But on a big panel right now, to make that cut out ahead of time is super risky.
It is,
because the chance of coming up too short is high.
You're right.
So for commercial style installs, don't cut it out.
Yeah.
For color change installs and PPF, do cut it out.
But there's a curious point here. Of course, if we take a fleet 100 cars,
yes,
I would remove the mirrors.
Of course.
But only for one car, maybe I have to spend like 20 minutes figuring out how to remove. I have to make sure I have all the tools, and sometimes I don't have it.
It's risky.
So I prefer when it's only one car, work around. I can use templates. I can use masking tape, knifeless tape to protect and make the best for my customer.
Absolutely. So sometimes taking off is good. Sometimes leaving on is good. Sometimes making templates is good. So the point is right now, come up with a game plan. So now, we're going to be wrapping this with one giant piece, and this is Arlon's SLX Plus. So when you're wrapping a giant sheet on a car, it can be intimidating, especially if you're just starting out. What's up, Robin? So the idea right now is if we look at this side as a passenger side with a giant piece going on, it's hard to do, especially when you got a mirror on the body. But one thing, Dimas, that we talk about a lot is what is a good thing to do when you're starting out wrapping a side right now is have a game plan, and that is knowing what you're wrapping and also knowing what you aren't wrapping, and what you aren't wrapping you take advantage of, right? So Dimas, what are we wrapping in this case? In this case now, I think we have to wrap down to here.
Okay.
Or actually, I think we're going to be creative and use the print right now. So we're going to take the material to here, we're going to wrap the fender, and then we're going to wrap the entire side of the car, and all the way back in one piece, right?
Perfect.
But what are we not wrapping, all right? What we're not going to be wrapping is this window. And why I like that right now is this window is a dead zone. And it's what I call it means you have a safety. And we could use this to our advantage, right? And this is my favorite safety zone is right here. So right on the A-pillar right now, especially when you have the mirror on the body, I love this natural break. We're going to use that to our advantage. So the window is going to be used to our advantage. Plus also what we're not wrapping, Dimas, is we're not wrapping the headlight, and we're not wrapping the backlight. Good to know, right? So with that being said, now we know what we're wrapping, what we're not wrapping, and now we're ready to rock and roll. We've already cleaned the car, we've prepped the car, but notice we don't put any masking tape down. We got our heat guns close, which is cool.
We are just not using masking tape because the technology on this film,
100%.
let's be clear, because usually I like a lot to mask tape the whole car just to be sure.
So for those of you out there who are watching right now, usually we take masking tape to set the material, like lower the surface energy so we can pick the material up and tuck it in. But because we're working with SLX Plus, which has a low initial tack, we can skip the masking tape, which saves time and it saves money, which is key. So right now, no masking tape, no prep. We took the door handles off, which were easy, and now we're ready to place the panel on the car. So what we're going to do now is lay the panel out, and I'll let Dimas set up his side. How you looking, Dimas?
Should we talk about this
We'll
great
talk
tool?
about it in a little bit. Why don't you just kind of get it in position? So do you feel like it's high enough? You're good? Is it crooked? So right now, I'm going to let Dimas kind of pick his side up, and we'll make any adjustments, right? So you kind of get it to there. And what you have to appreciate with full print film is the number one important thing is to making sure it's level, right? So notice what we did, and we'll talk about it more in a demo tomorrow, is we left the white trim on the car. I like to leave that white trim on the car. Because that white trim, if you kind of hold it up right now, if you work from the wheel wells right now, I can already see that it's a little high or low, that Dimas needs to come down. So we need to play it for that, and then we're good to go. But the main thing is now trying to make this panel straight. But Dimas, why this is going to be hard to make straight is what?
Because the mirror.
Because the mirror. That's your fault, because you were too lazy.
I'm sorry, buddy.
It's all right. So the main thing is now, okay, this is interesting, just so you guys know, for this demo, is they printed this out for the competition. If you guys look at those cars, Those are GTIs. This is a Supra. Yeah. So this means, if you guys notice, it's a little what? Short. So I'm going to show a little trick to kind of get this done without overstretching. So the panel's short, but not a problem, because we're going to do this, Dimas. Watch. I'm going to take my bodyguard right now.
Okay.
And why don't we trim this panel a little bit so that it's easier to wrap with. So I'm going to come down to here, and we lock it in position. And now let's trim the backing paper off with the backing paper on.
Cool.
So I'm going to come over here and take my backing paper cutter, and I trim it with the liner on. We're good. I'll come back up to here, and I'll take one more magnet to here on the fender. And basically what I'm doing is I'm going to make the panel easier to install. And Dimas, I want to put these here just so that people can kind of appreciate how much extra material we save.
Oh, okay.
If you don't mind. So
No, I
always
don't.
right now, the first step is to trim the panel so it's easier to install. So this makes it lighter and more nimble. So once we've done this now, we'll use those. Watch out, guys, it's a little slippery, so don't slip on those. I've warned you. Okay? Cool. So now we got this set up right now, Dimas. Now we have to release the backing paper. And
Right.
this is where we can talk about Arlon SLX Plus. So when they developed this film, right, they changed their adhesive back in 2016, and they created what's called flight technology. That allows the material to slide and glide. So right now, okay, this material, so you guys can see, has a very matte finish. And it actually has a texture on the adhesive a little bit, like it's topography right now. So this enables the film to kind of slide on the surface. Like I could stick it on the windshield, and I can pick it up, and I can even fold it on itself, and I can pull it apart.
We can even clean dirt.
We can even clean dirt with it.
Yeah.
We don't want to do that.
No.
No, I know, but we can clean it off.
Yeah.
So it's a robust adhesive, but my point is right now, it's low tack, which makes it easy to install a panel like this.
That's
right?
it.
Okay. So in this case right now, Dimas, we want to create a hinge to make sure that we can release the panel nice and easy, right? So what I'd like to do personally right now is I like to take a wrap magnet to here, and what I'm going to do is I'm going to take another wrap magnet to here, and this is essentially just holding the panel in place. So we got the magnets here, locking it on, and this is going to hold it firmly in place while we release the liner. Is that cool? So why don't we do that? I'll come to you, Dimas. So we fold it back, and the trick right now is just to kind of lay it flat on the surface. I like to work with two people, especially Dimas Brasil, because he's got a great flow and passion for wrapping. And Dimas, pull a little bit more if you can. Get the lamination right to there. And you just want to pull right to where the magnets are, which is right to here. So once this is set now, watch what I do. I'm going to cut it along the backing paper, top to bottom. Once I make that cut now, okay, Dimas and I will work together. He'll hand me the film. And now we're just going to kind of set the panel up. But we're not going to create what we call too much glass. We're just going to kind of set the panel up, tack it to here. And then down here, Dimas will pick it up and tack it to here. And I think we're good. And just in case, now this is a good tip, I'm actually going to put the magnets on top of where we just took the wrap off. That helps hold. So Dimas, if you want to put one more magnet where it says Epson. So now what we're going to do is we're going to release the liner for the other side. And what I personally like to do is I like to roll this panel up to keep it from touching the floor. Hold it away now. And I'm going to pull the liner off the top section here. Dimas is doing a good job holding it away. And then he holds it down there, just a little fold right there. Nice one, Dimas. And then we just pull low and flat. So we keep it to here. I release the liner. I try not to knock over the camera. And we're good to go. So right now, okay, the step was to kind of get it in rough position right now. Release the liner, and now what do we have to do is we have to make it...
A pray?
Oh,
No?
We have to pray. Yes, we have to pray, and we have to make the material what? Straight. So Dimas, if you just kind of hold in position now, I'm just going to kind of pick it up, and I'm just going to kind of fluff it, right? So just hold the top, and we're just going to kind of see how easily the material picks off the surface. So this is Arlon SLX Plus. So we can kind of pull it here, but again, what's in our way right now is what? The mirror, which is a problem. But it's not a problem because if you joined the demo earlier, we talked about the importance of what's called scene in sections when you're wrapping large panels. What we're not wrapping on this car is we're not wrapping the window. And right here on the A-pillar, there's a natural break between the fender and the back fender. This is good. This is our outlet to solve the tension that's coming from the mirror, right? So watch what I do. So right now, okay, I know that with this material here, we have enough at the bottom. I feel comfortable about that. I think we have to, do we have to lower it at all? I think we're good at the top.
It's good.
Right? And then down here, I think it'll flatten out that we're good. Black car, right? So the idea right now is this. I think it's very smart to do this. I know that the top of the doors come to here. The back window comes right to here. So what I'm going to do, so I don't screw up my cut, is I'm going to mark on here, and again, it's kind of hard. The print is pink and my pen is pink. But the idea right now is I'm going to mark it to just where the A-pillar is his, but I mark it high, if that makes sense. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to put my pen back to here, and I'm going to click my knife. And then when I cut this out, I want you guys to appreciate how far I have my knife out. Can you guys see that? I'll do it with the cameras. I'll do it with the cameras. So the reason why I have my knife out only this far is so I don't cut the pillar right between the windows, if that makes sense. So I make sure it's nice and short. I have my line as my guide, and I can make this cut now, and what my freehand does is pull the material off the surface so I don't cut the A-pillar, plus having it short helps. And then once I make this cut, I hold it nice and high, and then I cut it, and now this is separate from the bottom piece. That's the first magic of seeing in sections, right? So once that's done, Dimas, let's focus on the bottom. So again, the material that we're working with right now is SLX Plus, comes from Arlon. Great manufacturer based in California. And we're going to pick it up now, and now you can see how much easier this panel is to work with.
Easy as making your bed in the morning.
Easy as making your bed in the morning. I've never made my bed.
I know.
So
Ask your wife.
So right now, we're making adjustments, okay? The hardest part to work around is the mirror. So right now, notice what I'm doing is I'm standing back and I'm looking to see how straight and center this is, right? Cars are always tricky today because there's so many body lines going in different positions. So Dimas, why don't you stand back with me? And what do you think? I think the part on the door actually looks pretty good compared to the car, but I see the back seems like it's dipping down a little bit.
I think we can line up like this, the black line.
Right. So what I'd like to do, Dimas, was this. I'm going to lock it in here just to kind of hold it in position.
Okay.
And then why don't we pull it back?
Of course, when we reduce the size of the piece,
Yes.
we have a bleed, so we can play
Very
up
good.
or down.
So when I trimmed the panel, we had extra space. So now we're going to pick this back up, and we're going to kind of adjust the height. And what I'm going to do is just here is I'm going to lock it in position, Dimas, and let's stand back and see how it looks. And Dimas, this is looking pretty sexy to me. What do you think?
I agree.
Okay, if Dimas thinks it's sexy, then I'm good. Do you guys know what I'm saying? But my point is right now, it's hard to measure right now because if you can see the back of the car is higher than the front and there's so many body lines that are going in different positions, it's almost like a gut call today, all right? So my point is right now, Dimas, is right now, for those of you watching, we lock the panel into position right to here, right? So the light starts here, and I'm going to lock the material all the way across to as far as it can go on the front fender. So I pick the material up, I pull and create glass, and then right here I pick it up and I pull some more. So you can tell how flexible the material is at room temperature. So the main thing is what you want to appreciate is as soon as you release the liner right now, once it's in position, you have to create what's called a hinge. And so
Right.
you create a hinge left to right, and that locks the position. And what's cool about SLX Plus, why I like it, is the original version of SLX was just called SLX, which had a very low initial tack. So even now it might come off the surface because it was almost too low. But then they came out with SLX Plus, and now it low tack, but it also grips because now we can pull. So what we want to do now is create what we call glass, and we'll try to do this as close to real time as possible. And what Jima said earlier is very apropos. That wrapping is almost like making what? A bed. And when you make a bed and you put your fitted sheet on, what do you always hook? The corners. So watch what happens. Jimas and I are going to start below, and we're just going to pick up the material and pull to the corner. So Jimas picks up the material to his side, and we just pick it up just to where that wrinkle is. Cool. And now I'm going to pull to this corner, and Jimas is going to pull to this corner. We pick up the material nice and flat, and we pull to the corner, and now we have glass, right? And once everything's set, we'd start to squeegee. Right now, I think we'll just show you how to
I just
create.
need one more time here.
Okay.
Just
You wanna
fix
pull
a
in the middle?
small wrinkle.
So what Jimas is doing is kind of locking around the door handle. Can you get this part right there? Yeah. So what Jimas is doing is just kind of locking it in place. Door handles are always tricky off the body. Then once Jimas does this, we can pull to the corner. So we'll do it in 1, 2, and 3. So we pull once to the corner, lock it in position. And what I like to do is right in the middle. You see that little wrinkle right there? What I personally like to do is pull it kind of nice and firm in the middle. And now we have 100% glass. Now we'd start to squeegee. But we don't squeegee until we have 100% glass.
Yeah.
So right now, so do you see how easy it was to create glass by pulling to the corners? Great, because this is SLX Plus. Now we come over here, Jimas, right? So if you guys can see all these wrinkles right now, okay, yeah, oh, before we do it. So Jimas has these wrinkles here, but what Jimas is going to do is he's going to pick the material up, and notice what he already did right here. Remember at the beginning of the demo, I talked about where you're not wrapping. So what Jimas did right here is he made a relief cut. That enabled him to glass this out really easy, and enables me to do this. I can now pick up the material. I can pull really hard. I can pull up here. I can lock it to this section here. I can lock it to this section here, and now I have glass because we made a relief cut right there, really big. So now, Jimas, okay, what we can do now is talk about how to work around this, all right? So everything we do on the Wrap Institute is we talk about tension. Jimas, do you like tension?
No, I don't like tension at all.
Does anyone out there like tension? I don't like tension, right? So the idea is right now is as a good wrapper, you have to spot the tension, and then you have to know how to neutralize it. So right now, watch what Jimas does, right? There's different ways that you can get rid of tension. My favorite way to get rid of tension is what's called a relief cut. So right now, okay, Jimas is taking the material in here right now, and you guys can see that he needs to work around this base right now. So what's very important is he's going to make a cut, then he's going to fold the material around. But is there a chance, Jimas, that you could cut the car right now?
Oh, hell yeah.
Right. So I'm going to use this one for a second, and they're going to swap my batteries. All right. So Jimas came up with a really good technique for making relief cuts that are super safe around sensitive objects. So what Jimas can do, actually just make a relief cut with a wrap axe if you could. So what Jimas...
I can use a squeegee.
I feel like a guitarist who's like string breaks and they just pulled that
During
back.
the concert.
So I got it. Watch this. So right now, okay, Jimas is going to take the material into the base of the mirror. Right now, if he takes his knife and cuts, he can cut the mirror, which is not good. So one thing I saw Jimas do one time is this is what's called the wrap axe, right? So this is a tucking tool. So what Jimas does sometimes is he places the wrap axe here, and then once he's here, he can cut on the wrap axe, so there's no chance of cutting the mirror. Pretty clever, right? But by making this cut now, Jimas can now work around the mirror with no stress, right? And he's going to work around it with a series of relief cuts. So a good tip for that is to work around this with the relief cuts, and this means that you don't have to take off what? The mirror, which saves a huge amount of time. Has anyone out there taken off a door panel? It's fun, huh? It's not fun, all right? So now that Jimas is doing this, watch what I can do. Okay. So in this section here, okay, if I look at the material right now, it looks very tense. Can you guys see this right now? So because this is tense, if I start taking heat and trying to make that material relax, for me, it's going to have more tension in it. So what I can do, and again, this is SLX Plus, is I can pick up the material, to where the tension started. And Dimas, if you want to just give me a nice pull right at the top here, just pull here, and then I'm going to stretch it to here. So just pull, and I'm going to pull down, and then I pull this way, and look at what I can do is by pulling nice and firm, I create what? Glass. So by seeing the tension, and then taking care of the tension now, I can relax the material up to here, and I get the material set. All right, so any questions so far from everyone right now? So here's where we talk about relief cuts, right? Are we doing time-wise? Are we okay?
Enjoy your life.
Okay, I'm enjoying my life right now. So can everyone see this right over here? You can come over here. So again, another situation where we have a light. In this case right now, it's creating a lot of tension. You guys can see the tension. So instead of fighting this tension, as soon as I start pulling hard on the film, something's wrong. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to back this material up to where the light is, and I'm going to make another relief cut. And as soon as I make a relief cut, all this tension that's here, I can now glass out, squeegee on, and then I can come back over here and take the material and glass it out. Now, okay, remember what I said earlier for those of you at the beginning. Can you guys all see this situation here? So when we started off this car at the beginning, the panel was too short, right? So right now I'm a solid 4 centimeters short from the front. So I have a couple options here, right? One option right now, Dimas, is I can pick up the film here and I could heat it and I could stretch it. But I don't want to do that. Why? Because I would put too much what in the film?
And close by the edges.
Yeah. So right here, if I heat the film and I stretch it to the edge, the material might shrink back over time. I don't want to do that. But I also don't want to print the whole side of a car because the panel was too short. That makes me lose time and money. So check out this little hack. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to come and take a scrap. Do you guys see the scrap here? Right? So watch what I do. I'm going to look at it, and I see that this is a really busy pattern. I don't see any kind of rhyme or reason to it, and I like that. So watch what I do. I'm going to come down here. I'm going to click my blade, and actually I'm going to see if I can find a different shape that might be funner. I have options here. And that's red, so I'm going to do something that contrasts with it. So in this case right now, I'm going to cut alongside the yellow right now and see where this goes. I'm going to come back to here, and I'm going to do something like this. So I cut out a shape like this. And so imagine if you're the client, right? That was fun to kick, by the way, right? So watch what I do. The first step I'm going to do is I'm going to take the material off the liner. And do you guys see that this has a lot of wrinkles right now? So if I leave these wrinkles on the car, they're going to have tension in it. Again, tension, tension, tension. So now I take the liner like this. I slide the liner under. And all the tension that was there, I am now going to cut the material away on the liner, and I'm going to just make a squiggly shape like this. So you guys see what I just did? So by putting the liner underneath, I cut directly on the car without cutting the car. Does it make sense? And I created a weird funky shape that goes with the pattern. Does that make sense? So once I have that set now, I squeegee this back on. And now what I'm going to do is I'm going to take this piece that I had before that I pre-cut. And again, is it beautiful? I don't know. It's just something, right? But I'm going to take this piece now and do this, right? And once I have this here, I'll just cut it out so you guys can see what I just did. This is what I call, okay, when I first started wrapping back in 1996, right? And when I came out with my first DVD was back in 2007, right? My first DVD, I had a whole chapter on what I call patches, right? So some people would say, oh man, you just put a patch on the car. I don't call this patches anymore. I call it a creative overlay, right? So this piece right now got a little tiny wrinkle there. I'm going to pick it back up so it can chillax. So I take this piece down now, and now if you're a customer right now, would you even see this on the car? Right? Do you guys understand what I'm saying? So it's essentially an overlay piece that makes up for the panel being short. So for me, I get full coverage, but the biggest thing is, how much tension does this piece have? 0, because it lays on top flat. Does it make sense? So I took tension out of the bottom, I put a piece on top, and now I use a little hack that I don't cut directly on the car, I cut on the liner, and I'm using a scrap as an overlay piece that looks great with the design. Does it make sense? Okay. So while I was doing that, what did Dimas just do? Dimas finished working around the mirror, so it's good timing. So once that's set now, Dimas works around the mirror, and I want you guys to appreciate me doing this while Dimas works around the mirror. Dimas, I think that took you about 6 minutes to do.
Maybe.
Right? How long would it take Dimas to take the door panel off, take the mirror off, and then put that back on? More than 6 minutes.
More than
right?
6.
And he puts the overlap on the back side, so it looks super professional.
Actually, I did a butt joint.
And Dimas did a butt joint, because that's how Dimas rolls, right? But the biggest thing is, what I want you guys to appreciate now is this. Is once Dimas does this, I can now come back to this area here. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to pick the material up.
Just watch out here.
Yep. And Dimas, you made the cut there, right? So I'm going to take the material up and over to the top of the A-pillar. And what I'm doing right now is I'm going to focus on creating the nice, good flow. So I'm taking the material up and in. And I don't care about the rest of the fender right now because my main focus is right now on the A-pillar. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to cut out the A-pillar all the way to here. And I cut the A-pillar out first. I don't care about any of this right now. The reason why I do that now is Dimas and I are going to focus on this. Dimas, if you can help me do the top section here. Dimas and I are now coming back to this section here, and we're going to pick this material up. And because we made this relief cut right now, we can easily pick the panel up to here. We'll pick it up to right about to here. I'll pull the material back. If Dimas, if you could just pull right in the middle to here. Cool, right? So I'm going to pull the material back to here now. And the only thing I want to show for this, Dimas, is taking the material up and in. So right now, I'm going to take the material up and create glass here. Once I create glass to here, I can squeegee it up and in. And now you see this whole hot mess at the top, right? But again, seen in sections, which is the whole point of this demo, is by making this cut in the middle and by finishing the front section here at the A-pillar now, Dimas, why don't you help me do this top part here?
Let's do it.
Is we're going to gloss it out. So if you pick it up towards the front. So what Dimas and I are going to do is we're going to pick this up. He's going to pull it apart because he's got the SLX flight technology. We're going to pick it up now and we're going to just kind of glass it and pull towards the front. As we do this right now, okay, because we did cut it short at the front, right when we get to here now, if we don't do anything right now, we want to make sure that it kind of lines up to here. So Dimas picks it up right now, and we'll see if we can kind of line it up a little better. Cool, we're good. Pull a little harder, we're good, and good. So what we did now is, as we pulled this piece now, we squeegeed on the high side, and right when we get to the front, we kind of dip down, because this piece was intentionally cut short, front fender fit, if that makes sense. So by doing this now, because this was thinner, we could angle it down to here, and now we cut it off at the A-pillar, and we are done. And then it's all just about finishing this panel. But the biggest thing is I want you to appreciate is the fact that we had Arlon technology with their SLX Plus. I had Dimas Brasil helping me, and he's great to help with right now. But the idea right now is creating the hinge and taking advantage of seen in sections. And that allows you to wrap a giant panel like this in very low install times. So what I'd like to do now, right, is I'm going to jump off the mic. We're going to play the music right now. And I'm going to wrap this real time. Dimas is going to wrap it real time. And for those of you in the audience, if you want to come in here and ask us questions, feel free to come and ask questions. And we'll get back to we'll get back to the contest in a little bit. But again, my name is Justin Pate from the Rap Institute. This is the one and only Dimas Brasil. And again, if you have questions, please come in the booth and ask. We got Kaio, who's there doing our social media. And we're here to help because the goal of the Rap Institute, our slogan is never stop learning, is to always improve and hope that you can improve and take it to the next level as well. So thank you for watching. Our next demo is coming up at 3 o'clock. Awesome. Thank you so much, everyone. Have a good day.